Hey, hi there. Your good friend here, Marvin, again. Good to see you. So, I have some good news. The good news is I have a new book out. Actually, I have two books out, but my focus is on one of them this morning, which is The Secret Lives of Uber Riders. You may have seen it, you may not have seen it, but this is my official announcement. So, this book was inspired in a very, very interesting way. As a side gig, I do Uber driving. I actually even do Uber Eats deliveries and deliver food. So it's a side gig that is very popular. Most of you might already know this if you don't live in the US or in countries where there's Uber services. But it's a very popular side gig. Retired people do it. I've seen even professionals doing it. I've become friends with one of the Uber drivers who is actually an engineer, but he just enjoys doing Uber in his spare time. Not really for the money, he likes the money, but also just the pleasure of driving and meeting people and things like that. So I do that as a side gig as well. I've been doing it for 2 years now, even though I did other delivery services such as DoorDash in previous years. Yeah, so it was inspired by a woman, a 68-year-old woman. So I picked her up at the house and she asked me a very strange question. She said, "Why do you do Uber?" And it puzzled me. And she saw the puzzlement on my eyes, I guess, on my face. And then she quickly corrected herself because I was asking myself, what, how do you ask somebody? That's like asking somebody, "Why do you work?" Like, aren't there bills to pay? Don't we need to eat and things like that? So, but she saw the puzzle on my face, and she quickly corrected herself, and she said, "Well, I'm asking because I have a friend who started doing Uber because he wants to write a book." You can imagine my expression. It was a light bulb moment. And immediately so many thoughts come to my mind. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm an author. I've not been writing or documenting this experience. I mean, I document so many other things, don't get me wrong. And I looked at her with my face beaming. And she was puzzled. I think she must have gotten worried, like, why is this person so excited at me? You know? And I said to her, I said, "Thank you very much." She said, "What is going on?" I said, "I'm an author. You just gave me an idea to write a book about this. I'm going to have a book about my Uber experiences the next 1 month." She said, "1 month? Are you for real?" I said, "Yeah, because I already have the stories." And in that moment, I was asking myself, what am I doing? It's just one of those things in life where you need other people to trigger you and redirect you, so-called destiny helpers. So this is what happened to this story. This story has a lot. It's drama. Some of the stories will make you laugh. Some of the stories will stun you. Some stories will stun you so much you will go to bed with your jaw wide open. The good part is you won't be snoring that night. So that's a good thing. But these are really, really wonderful stories. Stories about encountering American culture is very interesting. The whole world is interested in America. So that's what makes these stories a bit interesting, because they're interactions, real stories with real people in real situations with American people. Where if you've never lived in America, you live outside, it's always obviously America is an amazement to the whole world. To just be able to encounter these stories by reading this book is going to amaze you. It's a unique book also because it's a perspective from an African immigrant. I don't know if there's any book like this, but this is why this book is kind of unique. You're definitely going to enjoy it. Whether you live in America, you're American, or you live outside of America. But I think more, especially for those that live outside America, maybe even Africa, because that's really who I represent in this book, talking about this culture conflict. That's what drives this book. The stories are what drive this book. My commentary. It's a memoir, and obviously it's cultural commentary. You're going to enjoy this book. So scan the QR code and get the book. You can read the sample, and after that proceed to get the book. And in the future, I'll be interacting with you, trying to find out what's your best story in the book. Why did you like that story? And things like that. Should we do a part 2? Or what else do we do regarding, culture conflict and things like that? I'm so glad to be able to speak with you about this book, and I'll talk to you some more in the near future. Have a good day. See you soon.